Hey gaming fans, so today I got a Crystal Beast deck that I put together. Again, this was another deck that I played a long time ago, and I always enjoyed playing Crystal Beast. So I thought I would just kind of update it a little bit. It's still similar to the way I used to play it. However, when I did play it in the past, Rescue Cat was banned. I believe it was banned when I played this deck. So I kind of built a little Rescue Cat engine in here. So let's get to the deck. So obviously I just said it, Rescue Cat is my first monster. Pretty much this will get out your Amethyst Cat and a few other beasts that you might need, but really just to get that setup going, because you want to get as many Crystal Beasts into the Spell and Trap Zone as possible to really pull off this deck properly. The next one, just for the Rescue Cat engine, I threw in this guy because he's a tuner. He's a level 2 beast. He does have an effect. You could discard one card to target one level 2 or lower beast type monster in your graveyard, except himself, and special summon attack position or face down defense position. So you can use that effect too if you want, especially if you want to bring back the other target, which is Wind Up Kitten, because this just bounces and gets rid of any monster off the field. Good for Xyz and all that stuff, or Link monsters, or whatever could be on the field that's really a pain in the butt. Getting into the Crystal Beasts now, also part of the Rescue Cat engine is the Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat. So this thing can attack directly, but it does half the damage to your opponent. So it's got 1200 attack, but that's okay. I mean, most of the time you're using these for being in the Spell and Trap Zone, which is why I thought I'd run the Rescue Cat engine, just to pop 2 of these out onto the field. Rescue Cat kills them, they get destroyed at the end of the turn, and then they go to your Spell and Trap Zone. So that was my thought for that. Anyways, out of the Beast engine, or the Rescue Cat engine, I should say, and to the rest of the Crystal Beasts. So, I'm playing 2 Ruby Carbuncle. I like it. It's a good card. It sets up your plays. It can OTK. You just don't want to draw them too quickly because they're useless on turn 1, turn 2. You really got to get your setup going. In the past, I think I used to play just 1, but I think 2 is pretty good. I mean, you could probably get away with 3 if you really want to, but I wouldn't go to the 3, but some deck builders do. 2 of the Amber Mammoth. He's 1700 attack, beat stick, essentially. Well, not that big of a beat stick, but he's 1700 attack, and he does have the ability to shift the attack over to him if your opponent is attacking. So that's okay. This guy's though probably the biggest one. He doesn't start off so big. That's the Topaz Tiger. He's 1600, but when he attacks, he gets an additional 400, so he goes up to 2000 attack, which is pretty good, and can run over a lot of monsters in, aside from big Link monsters or things like that. And of course, the best Crystal Beast in the deck. They really need to make some more good Crystal Beasts, but so basically when this guy's summoned, you could take a Crystal Beast from your deck and put it in your Spell and Trap Zone face up. So this guy you always want to see. This is your go-to. Aside from Rescue Cat, the only thing about the Rescue Cat play is in the beginning, if you just pull out the 2 monsters and then they get destroyed, you have an open field. So you might not want to start off with Rescue Cat. Maybe start off with this guy if you can, and then Rescue Cat. But it really depends on what your opponent's playing. So that's it for the monsters. Now we go to the spells. So this is kind of like Monster Reborn in a sense. This is Arius Rock Sunrise. I was trying to find a slot to also include Monster Reborn in this deck. I guess you could play 1 Monster Reborn and 1 of this, or cut out 1 of the other cards if you really want. My only thought is that, you're probably going to target, this only targets beast monsters, which pretty much most of your deck is, unless you get into Synchro or Xyz summoning. And also, when you special summon the beast, all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls lose 200 attack for each beast, plant, and wing beast type monster you currently control in your graveyard. So, I mean, it does give you that little bit of extra boost. So now for the actual Crystal Beast support, I'm playing 3 of the Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. I really like this card. It's one of the first, few field spells that came out that actually did more than just an attack boost. And, you know, it's pretty good. I mean, it's based on the amount of your crystal beasts that are in your spell and trap zone. So you either could destroy a spell or trap. I think it's, let me just read it. It's been a while. Based on the number, so if you have 1, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, which is cool. If there's 2, once per turn, you can have the battle damage you take. So you can prevent, you know, kind of OTKs and stuff like that. You can set, if you have 3, you could send 1 Crystal Beast monster you control to the graveyard to negate the activation of a spell or trap card and destroy it, which can be really beneficial. 4, once per turn during your main phase, you can draw 1 card. Now that's the effect that I like, you know, to use a lot. And another thing is, if you have 4 in your zone, and you have 2 of these in your hand, you could play 1, draw a card, and then play the one over top of it, draw another card. And then 5, it's, you know, it's really tricky to get 5 on the field, but once per turn during your main phase, you could special summon 1 Crystal Beast card from your spell and trap zone. So it's, you know, it's one of those cards I think you should play at 3. I was going to play Terraforming just to make sure I get it, but it's, you know, it's a tight deck already. This one I've been debating over, you know, Crystal Beacon, of how many to run. Now, originally I was just going to have 1, but I bumped it up to 2, because it's not a card you want to see early in the game unless you can really get your board set up. Because if there are 2 more Crystal Beasts in your spell and trap zone, you can special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your deck. So it is like, you know, turn 1, it's not going to do anything because you're probably not going to have the Crystal Beast there. So you got to be careful with this one. And then, of course, I put in a Crystal Blessing, which can retrieve Crystal Beasts from the graveyard. So if you're going to go into any kind of synchro summoning or XYZ plays or something like that, or Link, if you're going to play Link monsters and send them to the graveyard, you can retrieve them. Also, you play another card that sends them to the graveyard. The next one, Crystal Release. I like this one because it really boosts up the attack, and it gives you the benefit if it gets sent to the graveyard. So it boosts up the attack of a Crystal Beast monster by 800. So they can get pretty big, especially, you know, you got your guy that already bumps up to 2,000, so he goes up to 28. And of course you have your 1,800 guy. So you can get some pretty big Crystal Beasts going on there. And the benefit of this card is if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to take a Crystal Beast monster from your deck and put it in your spell and trap zone. So even if your opponent destroys this, or if the monster gets sent to the graveyard, this will go to the graveyard, then you get your effect. The next one is probably one of the better ones as well, Crystal Promise. The popular move from here, so basically this summons a Crystal Beast from your spell and trap zone to the field. So if you got this guy out there, remember a lot of plays people used to do is they would summon him, search out him, put him in the spell and trap zone, use Crystal Promise, and then pull out another one. And you can go into a lot of plays from that. And it's also beneficial for your, where is he? Carbuncle. So you get him in the spell and trap zone, you get like 3 or 4 others. You special summon him, his effect goes off, and he special summons all of them from the spell and trap zone. So really beneficial to get that card out. And then for some draw power, because this deck really does need it. It needs the draw power. Activate only if you have 2 or more Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap zone. So much like that other one, you kind of have to have the setup for it. And then your opponent essentially selects one of the 2 cards you pick, and then sends one to the graveyard. You draw 2 cards. So then you can retrieve it with your blessing. And just as a kind of finisher card, Crystal Abundance. I know most people would probably only play one of these, and if you're going to play any of them, it's kind of your finisher card. You send 4 Crystal Beasts from your spell and trap zone to send all cards on the field to the graveyard, then special summon as many Crystal Beast monsters as possible from your graveyard, up to the number of your opponent's cards that were sent to the graveyard. So if your opponent had a big field, you're going to wipe out their field, then you're going to special summon all these, you know, all these Crystal Beast monsters to the field, and then you can pretty much attack for game, unless they have some kind of battle feeder or something like that. And then to round out the last 2 types of cards, Dark Holes, 2 Dark Holes, just to blow up the field. And it's okay if you blow up your Crystal Beast because you want them in your spell and trap zones. And then 2 MSTs, just to deal with any back row. So that was it. That's pretty much the deck there. So the extra deck, now I decided on using Synchro and XYZ for this, XZing, or however you want to say it. But you can also use Link monsters too. So I just kind of grabbed whatever I thought would work well, and what I've used in the past as well. So this is the Ronin Raccoon. Basically, he's 2 level 2 beast type monsters. So that's from your rescue cat plays. You could bring out, you know, your you can pull out these guys, your kitten and your forest. I don't know if I'd be playing 2. I put 2 in, but I think I'd probably swap that out for one of the other 2s, like this guy here, the Sky Cavalry. But basically what he does is he pops out a token that matches the highest attack monster on the field. And then if there's another beast on the field, he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So he's pretty cool. This guy's not bad. He's level 2 monsters. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Well, it has XYZ material. And at the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can detach 1 XYZ material from the card, return the opponent's monster from the field to the hand. So helps you get rid of the monster. And then just in case you want to go into a 3, I threw in a Zenmaines. 4, we have Kistel or Lightning Chidori, because we are playing the wind monsters. If you recall, your Pegasus are wind. So if you get 2 of the Pegasus out, you can go into a Lightning Chidori. Really good card. And I threw in a Bestweller because, you know, it just helps with against certain decks. So that's the XYZ. Then for some Synchro summoning, because you can Synchro multiple types of levels in this deck, so you can Synchro into a lot of different things. So I threw a Catastor, a Naturia Beast, because you are playing Earth monsters, and so you can go into Naturia Beast if your opponent's playing a lot of spell or spell-heavy deck. Same with Barkion for traps, or Landros. So you can actually play all these. This one prevents traps, this one prevents monster effects. Black Rose Dragon if I want to blow up the field, Scrap Dragon, and we can even go into Trishula in this deck. So these were the ones. And then the final one, actually, you can go into a 10, and that's Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree, which is also a beast. So you can like revive him later on. This face-up card on the field cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects except during the main phase 2. So pretty good card. Like, they can't get rid of him on your main phase 1. So that's pretty much the deck. Just like to hear your comments. You know, it's been a while since I've played Crystal Beasts, and so it was really fun rebuilding this deck. It's a lot of fun. It's not really competitive. It used to be at one point, I remember a long time ago, but of course there is newer cards that I don't have. Rainbow Path, which I probably would use if I get some. And there's also I forgot the name of it. There's another one that actually is even better, but it's like $30 card, so it's not really going to be a budget style deck. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Throw some comments down below. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later.